Hi, I'm João, editor of the economy, and this is Frontline. Here with me I've got Paul Morrison, Business Development Director at Hydro66. Paul, thanks a lot for talking to me. We are talking in Dublin, but you are a data center operator in the northern of Sweden. What are you doing here?
Yeah, well, it's a great place to come, and I've always appreciated the opportunity to meet with Broad Group and the partners. So Dublin is one of the countries that is obviously making great progress in its data centre infrastructure. I thought it was important for a company like Hydro66 to be here to give an alternative point of view. It can be quite easy to get wrapped up in hearing the same things from the same people, so perhaps a Swedish data centre company can offer something different to the people here.
What sort of different things would you offer compared to an Irish data centre company?
So I think it's well understood that the Nordic data centres do provide another set of options. So our clients may find slightly different things important to them. For example, the availability of a large amount of power at a great cost, that's green, that's renewable, so that it's sustainable not just from an environmental point of view, but also sustainable from a financial point of view. Our belief is that data centres are growing very quickly and will continue to scale up. So the power availability, for example, has to scale as well. So if the country that you're in, for example, Ireland, has some reasonably well documented power issues at the moment, perhaps there's customers that would look to find a region in the EU that has great availability of power, which is where we're at in Sweden.
So would you do that through partnerships? Even if they sit here, they'll still be able to use your services, or would you like them to actually move to your data center?
Sure, I mean it's a global game now, so the kind of hyperscalers are well known. We all know who they are. They build everywhere, so it's
a common thing between you and Ireland, anyway.
Yeah, I mean it's equally relevant that I'll have conversations on partnerships with someone in Dublin or Stockholm or London or Frankfurt. It doesn't really matter where we have the conversation, but ultimately our goal is to help them understand that there are different options available to the traditional markets like Frankfurt, London, Amsterdam, Paris. Dublin is now attempting to position itself with the big four, so it's good for people to hear alternative perspective.
You're currently expanding your data center, so you're going to expand your data center, you're going to triple your footprint, your hosting footprint by about 3 times, I think.
Correct.
What is driving that sort of demand? And when I say what is driving that sort of demand, I'm thinking more about the blockchain guys and the fintech guys, the gaming guys, because the Nordics seem to be attracting those sort of people, especially from Asia.
Yes.
Which is quite interesting.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's like I say, it's a global thing now, and it's our belief that power-intensive industries will naturally gravitate towards areas where the power is cheap, where it's green, where it's plentiful, where it's scalable, and clearly we're in one of those regions in Sweden, and that attracts people that want to do compute at scale. So companies that are doing HPC or high-performance computing will look to optimise the cost base that they have, and we provide a really good solution for companies that have a high power requirement. We're thinking in megawatts now, not kilowatts.
So are you serving any blockchain companies and gaming companies?
Of course, yeah.
And do you expect to sign up more?
Of course, yeah. I mean, it's a rapidly growing space. A lot of the thinking that we have is around high performance computing. We're looking to serve not just the blockchain guys, but also the car manufacturers or the pharmaceutical industry or the fintech industries that have big data requirements and want to do compute at scale.
In about a month's time, we're going to go to Oslo to host the Data Cloud Nordic.
Sure.
What sort of message can we expect to hear from the guys in the Nordics this year? Because usually we hear about the cooling, we hear about the taxes, we hear all about those sort of things. What new things are you expecting that people will say at that conference?
I think what we've heard in Dublin today has been really interesting, which is around the ecosystem that they've built up, and I'd like to hear more about the Nordic ecosystem and how the hyperscalers and the self-builders and the co-location companies can maybe be a little bit more collaborative, and even at a country level perhaps be more collaborative rather than saying, hey, come to Norway, hey, come to Finland. I think that message is well said now. We need to start talking about operational data centres, not just construction projects, and find out more and hear more about how the ecosystem can work together to develop the region as a whole.
And then the Nordics has also landed the world's largest data center, which will break ground very soon in a couple of months.
Sure.
I understand this is in Norway, of course,
north
of Norway.
Yeah.
But do you think this will have some sort of impact around your data center?
I think it's great when we hear these sorts of stories. I mean, I guess at one point we did a press release like that to say, hey, we're going to build a data center, and we got good coverage, the same as these guys have got. I think the tricky bit is making it operational, attracting customers to it. It's really difficult to go from a kind of press release and some slideware to an actual operational data center. We really hope they do well. It's great for the region that they've got big ambitions, and we would completely support them. Obviously, they'll become a competitor at some point at a regional level. Looking forward with interest to see how that story plays out.
Okay, Paul, thanks a lot for talking to me. Don't forget you can follow Data Economy on Twitter, Facebook and LinkedIn, and also visit the website on www.data-economy.com.